Hogue, marriage and family therapist. What I'd like to talk about in this video is how that something has changed in our society on the topic of children acting out, youth that have a sense of entitlement. Yes, when we were young, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, we had a disrespect for parents, but we had enough respect for parents that we did not disrespect a father or a mother or a grocery clerk or a police officer to their face. We had enough respect for grown-ups that if we were disrespectful, we would do it behind their back. What is different in this day and time? What has been changing in the last 20 years for sure? There is something different. Raising children before was different than raising children now. Like I'm saying, many of us parents know what it is to have a son or daughter that disrespects us to our face. Let me explain it this way. When a kid at a store breaks a window, cusses an old lady, steals a candy bar, there is something different. Years ago, the grocery clerk would call mom and she would know what the kid did even before the kid got home. What is different now? Well, there is the tendency of the grocery clerk, when seeing a kid cuss out an old lady, break a window, steal, first thing they think is, poor child, he is a victim. It must be his mother's fault. And so in this scenario, we see a jewel of something that's different in our society. Transactional analysis calls this triangulation, consisting of persecutor, rescuer, and victim. To always blame someone else and give power to the victim. We are going to be talking about in a series of videos what is different in our society. We're going to be looking at principles such as when you struggle with the kid, you do not so much struggle with that kid as you do a system that supports that boy or girl as a victim, making it your fault. And we're going to be talking about what solutions can take place to turn a kid around and change behavior. How is a group of people teaming together able to be a conscience for the kid till that group of people come to determine that that kid is in fact listening to his or her conscience? There are many principles that now can change the behavior of a child, and you are not left alone. Too many of us parents are trying to do it alone. But when you struggle with the kid nowadays, you are not so much struggling with that kid, but a system that supports that kid against you, making it your fault. Something is happening in our world. This is what we're going to be talking about. These series of videos are to give moms and dads encouragement. I hope that you'll be watching these videos as they'll be coming to you. You can also come to Jim Hogue, MFT, at hotmail.com. That's Jim, Hogue, MFT, at hotmail.com. You can ask questions, make comments, and I'll respond to those questions and comments through these videos. There are ways to turn our kids alone, turn them around. But you are going to be seeing much of the answer is in not doing it alone. What does it mean that when you've reasoned with your child and reason with the child that it doesn't work, then you have to find something else that succeeds beyond reasoning. Let's also look at one other principle. When you reason with your son or daughter, showing kindness, good parenting, the very kind of parenting that we ourselves wish we would have had when we were young. That when you reason with your child and over again, he or she turns your reasoning down, you're actually feeding the ego of that child. As he or she says, no, you're wrong, sarcastically, they're using your kindness, your compassion, your reasoning to make judgment of you. And then as you try to find another way to reason, thinking to yourself, well, maybe I will explain myself this way. But that becomes another opportunity for that child, for that adolescent, to disregard you again. And thus, when you try over and over again, they grow in judgment against you while they're supported by a team of people. Yes, some peers, but there's always an adult or adults, plural, relative, a neighbor, youth pastor, someone taking the side of the kid, and you may not know necessarily who is that other person triangulating you by giving a false compassion to your child, making you look like the bad person, when you are the person that loves your child more than any other person on the planet. We're going to be looking at principles like this that hold up in real life. You're going to be receiving encouragement and step-by-step process where a team of people in your life can band together with you and elevate you as the parent in the eyes of the child. So thank you for listening. Contact Jim Hogue, that's JimHogue, MFT, at hotmail.com. Thank you very much. Bye.